Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining online today. Welcome to our live. Welcome to our live today. Welcome to our live. How are you doing? Hey, if you're just joining, please introduce yourself. Tell me your name. Tell me where you're joining from. Introduce yourself. Tell me your name. Tell me where you're joining from. Thank you. Thank you for joining this live. This live, we're going to talk about how to overcome negative and just draining emotions. So what does that look like? A lot of people are in a state, their emotional state is that they are frustrated, they are overwhelmed. Some people, this has really affected their life. They just don't have a drive again. Some people, it has affected their relationship. It has affected their marriage. They just find themselves in a place where they are continually unhappy. If you're dealing with depression, if you feel as if you're overwhelmed, this life is for you. One of the things you can do is to share with other friends of yours, and we're going to get into it. And two things are going to happen today that is very special. Number one, I will get the opportunity to ask, you can ask your questions. Then number two, if you want to go live with me for a personal time, I will invite you to go live with me, and we're going to hear the amazing story of Vicky James as she shares her own personal breakthrough, and from one of my other friends also that also is sharing her own breakthrough story. So what you can do right now is that introduce yourself, tell me your name, tell me where you're joining from. Thank you for joining. I have my friends from South Africa joining. All of you in South Africa, how are you doing? I have people joining from Ikorodu, from Lagos, from Akure. Where are those from the UK? Where are those from Canada? Where are those from Europe? Where are those from the Middle East, from Dubai, from Saudi Arabia, from Kuwait? Welcome, 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 welcome. I really thank you for joining from the UK. It's nice to see you here. And thank you for joining from Dublin. Rosemary from Scotland, thank you for joining. What you can type in the chat box is this. Just type this with me. Just say grace, 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 this is my story. Just type that and say grace, 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 this is my story. Just type that quickly and say grace, 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 this is my story. Grace, 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 this is my story. Just type grace, 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 this is my story. If you want to share the link, go ahead and share with all your friends and tell them that we are online. All right. So, Ayomide from Baltimore, you are welcome. And Opemipo from Lagos, you are welcome. Grace, 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 this is my story. Okay, so let's get into this quickly. So the question is this. This is the big question. A lot of people are in an emotional state that hinders them from going forward. And I will explain what that means. So because some people have tried and tried and tried in their business, and their business has not really gone the way they want, you know what happens? They get frustrated and they become paralyzed. Some people, it's not their business, it's relationship. Just because of the bad experience they had while growing up, or the bad experience they saw with their brother, with their sister in their marriage. The same experience has kind of, affected them, and they don't expect big things. You'll hear people say things like, I don't think someone can love me. You hear people say that relationships don't work for me. You hear people say that, I don't believe that anybody can take care of me. You hear some people say different kind of things. But what I'm saying is the reason why you have to change your emotional state is this. This is what I'm saying. So if your emotional state is negative, your life experiences will be impacted and they will be negative. I'll give you just one story or illustration how this changes your emotional state. I'll give you an example. Let's say you are at work, and you are at work that day. You made an extra 100 million, maybe $1 million for the company you made for. You made that in profit. Your partner walks into your office, sit down at your desk and be like, you are a phenomenal staff. We're glad to have you. As a matter of fact, we are adding an extra $50,000 to your salary in bonus. We're giving you an extra car, and you're getting triple promotion. And when that happened, you walked home. You actually went home that day. And as you got home, you saw your little niece that was staying with you and with the mom. As you stepped out, the niece dropped the plate that it was holding with food, and the plate broke in pieces and the food spilled away. What will be your reaction? I'm sure that your reaction will be something like, you know what, this doesn't matter, this is nothing, and all of those kind of things. And that will be your reaction. But let's paint another scenario. Another scenario is this, and this is very powerful, because today you're going to hear some of the things that will change your life forever. And another scenario is this. You are at work, your boss came and told you that you are a low performance and you'll be fired. And that particularly, you have lost in transaction a $1 million deal for your business. They queried you, you had a tough conversation with your boss, and your partner and your business partner says, we're going to just sack you. You went home that day, and the same niece drops the plates of food. And when it drops the plate of food, what will you say? You'll be like, oh my God, what is going on? Your reaction over the child will be different because it will be very negative because of where you are. Look at this. The thing is that the same story happened 2 times, but your reactions were different. Why? Because your emotional state determined how you react. If you don't guide your emotional state, you will find yourself reacting negatively. You keep thinking it's life. Meanwhile, in the truth, it is your emotional state that is causing you to react this way. So what we have to fix is this. You have to fix your emotional state. One principle you must realize is this. You must realize this. There are things in life. There are things you can control and there are things you cannot control. I'll give an example. I cannot control if you join this life. I can't control if you I can tell you, put a comment in the chat box. But I cannot control if you do that. Why am I saying this? The moment I focus on the things I cannot control, I will be depressed. I should only focus on things within my control. The reason, so why are people unhappy? One of the fundamental reasons why a lot of people are unhappy is this. This is why they're depressed, this is why they're overwhelmed. They are trying to control what they cannot control. So you are trying to control the way your parents will behave to you. You are trying to control the way your wife will behave to you. You are trying to control the way people will behave to you. Focusing on those things will eventually make you unhappy. What you can control is what your response will be. What is my response? That is what it means to focus on what you can control. Hallelujah. I'm going to ask Vicky James to join me, and we're going to take this conversation to the next level. One of the very renowned, very, very,
I'm fine.
Vicky,
good evening,
how are you? Good evening. By the way, you look amazing. By the way, you look amazing. You always look amazing. How is work?
Work is fine, sir.
How is work? So tell me, how did you start your fashion business? What has it grown into right now?
Okay. So I guess I started my fashion business through my fashion business was motivated by the fact that I was born into, my mom was a fashion designer. My mom was a tailor. Let me not say she was a fashion designer. She was a tailor. So God gave me that talent in fashion, but I did not know that I was going to go into fashion. But because my mom was a tailor and I was around her, doing fashion, and it helped me grow my talent into it helped me grow passion for the talent. And
What you're saying is powerful, because sometimes what you need for a breakthrough is something within your space and you keep overlooking it. Because sometimes people think that what you need for a breakthrough sometimes is something within your space. Let me just put it here. There are people that delayed maritally. Meanwhile, the person they're meant to marry is someone that is close to them, but they've friend-zoned the person. They friend-zoned the person because they're looking for something that is grand, something that is phenomenal. They're looking for all this drama from Hollywood. And you said that this great business that you are known for globally started from something from your mom. You took that small seed from your mom, you worked on it and grew it. So let's get into the topic of today. A lot of young ladies and young guys look up to you as a mentor. What have you noticed? What emotional problems have you noticed that people have? And let's discuss that. When you were growing up, right now in your life, what emotional problems have people have? What have you noticed?
I think it's usually like the fear of failure. I think it's usually the fear of failure, because when I went into fashion, it wasn't exactly what I wanted to do, Pastor B. Like throughout my years of, even when I knew that I had the talent in fashion, I knew that I made up my mind I wasn't going to be a fashion designer, because I felt like it was a poor man's job. Because growing up, we were poor. My mom was a tailor, so I felt like it was a poor man's job, because if there was money in the job, maybe we would have been doing better. So I was looking into like other things. So I did a lot of things growing up. So when I decided to go into fashion, I was not sure that it was going to be what it is today. But I guess I had the fear for a long time. But the moment that I decided to break through that fear and pursue it.
How did you break through the fear?
I started fashion when I moved back to Lagos from Akwa Ibom. I traveled to Akwa Ibom for school, and when I got back, I was going to be continue because I was doing makeup in Akwa Ibom, so I was going to face makeup. But when I got back, a lot of the people I knew were already into makeup, so I felt like, okay, I would not really get a lot of referrals through this. So I needed, I applied wisdom into it, and I pursued fashion. And how I broke it was basically me just saying that what is the worst thing that can happen.
So what you're saying is this,
yes.
and please allow me to always interrupt
yes.
you, because I'm trying to bring up the principles in the story. Let me tell you how you broke it, because you're saying it, but I know the principle. So you
yes,
break
sir.
fear by taking action. Exactly. All of you that did, let me tell you something. All of you that dealing with the fear of failure, there's no magic drug. You're going to break fear by taking massive action. I want someone to write down in the comment section, you break the fear of failure by taking not just action, by taking massive action. So I'll say, if I take the action and it doesn't work, what do I do? You'll learn, and you'll learn what is not working, and you take a better action. Tell me the story. Does this story come to your mind? Do you remember something about this?
I mean, like I said, when I started, I wasn't, like I said, I already had the mindset that this job is for poor people. This job, people don't make money from it. So when I started, I did not make money from it. But I think what kept me going was the fact that I did not allow my fears or my mindset stop what I was envisioning. I didn't allow my mind to stop my vision.
This is very powerful. This is very powerful. And this is the thing. How do you break fear? By taking massive action. When it does not work out, what do? You step back and look at it and say, why didn't it work? And you reapply yourself. The major reason why people ultimately fail is this. When it does not work, then they stop trying. So when they date 1-2 times, it doesn't work, what do? They say, I've tried everything. That's what they keep saying. They keep saying the same thing. They keep saying, I've tried everything. Honey, you've not tried everything. You've just dated 2 times. You know, how can you say you've tried everything? You've just had 2 businesses. You say you've tried everything. No. The key thing is this. How do you break fear? By taking massive action. And listen, when it doesn't work, what do? You learn what works and reapply yourself over and over and over again until you see the success. Until you see the success. Okay, if you have any questions, type in the comment section. If you have questions, I want you to type in the comment sections. I want to be able to ask you, I want to be able to answer your questions today. So we've spoken about the fear of failure. Let's talk about some emotion people feel: hurt, pain, some stories you've heard about from your friends, and people say, these are the emotions I'm going through. And in your own life, when was the biggest time when you were emotionally hurt or drained in your own life, Vicky?
Pastor B, I feel like for women, the area where we're always very, very, where we are most emotionally drained and frustrated is usually in the area of relationships. That's like the greatest, like if we're judging based on like percentage, it would be in the area of relationship for we ladies. And I think the worst time in my life where I was really, really emotionally drained, that I would say that I almost went into depression. Because when people say that, oh, I was depressed, I'm not usually not able to relate to it, because I've known God since I was really young. So I've known God to be my source and my strength. So, but the time where I knew I almost went into depression was when someone broke my heart. And I was in a very bad relationship, and I was holding on to this relationship that God has shown me so many times, in different ways, different signs that I had to come out of that relationship. I was there. I gave my all. In fact, I almost dropped out of school at that time because of this relationship. And
let me ask you a question. At that point, how did you feel?
Like less of myself. I felt like it was the first time and the only time I felt very like I was nothing.
So first of all, you felt disappointed, and you felt you were not enough. Okay, so you felt disappointed, You felt, I want to tell me this. Did you feel inadequate?
Yes, I did. Because I was now looking at, is it that I am not, is there a way I'm supposed to be that I am not?
Okay. So you thought, so first of all, let's talk about that, because on this call today, there are people that feel inadequate. There are people inadequate. That's the thing, that I'm not enough. And let me tell you something. One of the biggest, feeling people have is that feeling of not being enough. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So first of all, if you're going through an emotional time, let's say if some emotion is going through your body, one of the things you have to do is that you have to identify the emotion. The reason why is this: whatever you deny, you cannot change. Oh my God. Whatever you deny, you cannot change. So if you feel disappointed, you need to, some of you are going through things and you cannot articulate the emotions you go through. And once you cannot articulate the emotions you go through, you cannot solve it. So the first thing is that, so let me tell you what people do with emotions. They run away from it. So people avoid their emotions. People avoid their emotion. People medicate their emotion. Medicate means that they do something in the short term that makes them feel good. So when they feel frustrated, they go ahead and get drunk.
Yes.
They go ahead and use tramadol. They go ahead and use cocaine. They go ahead and look for a prostitute to sleep with. They're looking for shortcuts. Listen, the challenge is that whenever you do that, that thing keeps coming back, because the roots of that emotional trauma has not been solved. So, the first thing, and you said that you felt inadequate. And let me tell you something. But the reason why you felt that way is because you chose to identify. So, people in the comment section, I want to put in the comment section, what emotional feelings do you feel at your worst? Sorry, let me say it this way. What are the emotional signals you feel at your worst state? So, Vicky has said that number one, she felt inadequate, she felt disappointed, she felt inadequate, she felt disappointed. Okay, so how do you change your emotional state? The first thing is this: identify the emotions that you're feeling. So it can be, for example, you can feel hurt, you can feel anger, you can feel fear. So the question is that what emotional feeling? So Vicky, let's go back to you where you were, where this boy was maltreating you, and you were holding on with your life, and he would say nasty things to you. He will not treat you right, and you were like, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to love till I die. I will not leave here. Kill me or not, I will love you forever. And you were doing all of those things. Someone said, I feel stagnated. Thank you for saying that. Someone said, I feel sad. So someone said, I feel unloved. Okay, good. Someone said, I feel aggression. Wow, those are very powerful feelings you're feeling. Someone said, I feel anxious. Okay, yes. So
betrayed. I think I felt betrayed, because I wouldn't say I felt stagnation, because as at then I was trying for myself. I was doing well. At least I was one of those girls that used to give money to their boyfriends. So
okay, so the thing is that the betrayal meant what? So was it more of anger, or it was more of regrets?
Regrets.
Okay. So I'm going to come to that, because so the first thing I want to see is this. I want to see something that we're able to narrow what you feel. Once you say you cannot change what you deny. So once I feel embarrassed. So for her, and when you get this emotional feeling, you need to ask yourself, what is this telling me? I'm going to tell you what the feeling of regret means. Regret is an emotional feeling. It's an emotional feeling that says certain standard has been violated in your life. Is that how you felt?
I think
so. Certain standard means that the way you're meant to be treated, responded to, appreciated has not happened in your life. Am I correct? So you know why you feel that way. So when you know that the emotional signal I feel is regret, then that certain standards are violated. So what that emotion is telling you is this, because the thing is that most people think emotions are bad. No, emotions most time carry a positive message. So when you feel the feeling of regret, what you're saying is this: my standards have been violated. What it's saying is this: I must do something so that these standards are not violated again. That's what the emotion is telling you. But unfortunately, you chose to stay in that relationship, and your standards were violated over and over and over and over and over and over until you became frustrated. Okay, let's take some emotions that people are typing in the box. Someone says this. Someone says, I feel frustrated. What does frustration mean? This is very powerful. Frustration is what, listen, so if you feel frustrated, frustration means this. This is very powerful. I want everyone to get it. Frustration means this, that what you are doing to achieve the result you want is not working, and you have to do something else. The emotional feeling of frustration. So if you're frustrated about your life, maybe because you're stagnated, you're frustrated about your marriage, you're frustrated about your singlehood, you're frustrated about your job, what you're really saying is this, and this is very powerful, that what I'm doing, the approach, the way I'm doing, it's not working, and I have to try something else. But because people don't pay attention to their emotion, what they do is like what you're doing, they keep doing the same thing. And the simple definition of insanity is this: to keep doing the same thing and expect what a different kind of results. Yeah, someone says I'm exhausted. The same thing with exhaustion. Once you're exhausted, the same thing. Exhaustion, frustration are similar emotions. Why? The reason why you're exhausted is this: you are pushing hard in a certain way, and it's telling you it's not working, it's not working. And instead of you to change what is not working, you keep pushing hard, pushing hard until you get to a place where you feel drained. So the drain is because you are not expressing, you are not changing the way you are dealing with this. You're not changing the way you're dealing with this. You're not changing the way you're dealing with it. And this is very powerful for someone. So frustration means that what you're doing isn't working, and you need to change your approach so that you can achieve the goal. I want to say that's it. The emotion of frustration means what you are doing isn't working, and you need to change the approach for you to achieve the goal. Stress is a sign of frustration. So when you are stressed, it is a sign of frustration. Drain is a sign of frustration. So someone says, when I'm frustrated, what do I do? You need to sit down. And when you sit down, say to yourself, what do you say to yourself? Wow, there's this thing I'm doing, and it's not, for example, right now, you were in a relationship, you were being maltreated, and instead of you to step up because the standard was not being met, you were giving much more. Tell me some things you were doing. Tell me some of the stupidest things you ever did in that relationship. Some of the crazy things. I love the way you're laughing at yourself, because you knew that you were acting crazy. You knew that you were crazy, stupid. Will you ever do those things again?
Never, ever again.
Hey, I reject it for you. I reject it for you. I reject it for you. Oh my God. Someone write Shaggy. Vicky said, I saw Shaggy.
On my own, if I want to come to Lagos, I was in Akwa Ibom. If I want to come to Lagos from Akwa Ibom, I use flights, because as at then, God had already started blessing the small handwork. So I use flights. But because of this boy, because of love, I entered night bus, came to Lagos, went to Lagos Island with his mother, shopped, went back to Akwa Ibom, set up a store for him. After the store was set up,
hold on. You shop for
him. He wanted to. I wanted him to start a business, so I said I was going to go to Lagos for him. Yeah.
You support
capital. My own sweat.
My God.
I came to Lagos. Yes.
You were a student working. You were a student working by the side. The small money. This is you that your mother did not have money. Your mother was
funny. The worst one of it all was that before I was going to leave with boss to Lagos, I checked his phone, and he was already inviting his ex to come and visit him as I'm leaving. But
my goodness,
what? They lied to me and apologized and said they were just playing along with her, that they were just joking. I still forgave and came to Lagos with boss. But
see, were you stupid? Or you couldn't believe the facts? You were.
I came back. opens the store. Pastor B, do you know that the store was set up in New York? It was a big unisex salon in New York, because I was making hair, I was doing makeup, I was doing a lot of things in school. So I had a lot of customers on my own that I would have opened store for my own self. But I opened it for him. Pastor B, do you know that when the store was open, he even told me that, oh, when you are making hair, why don't you take a certain percentage? I said, no, I'm doing it for love. I did not take nothing. I made money for him. At the end of the day, what did he do? He started bringing some girls to this. I'll be walking, he'll come with like 2 girls. They'll be outside with him, playing with him, touching him. When I want to say something, you say, no, they're just his friends, that they are small girls, that the girl is like 17 or 18, that he's trying to work on her, that she's a lesbian. He's trying to amend her. Yes, so
he
became counselor, Pastor B. I will now go to the house and cook. These same girls will come to the house and I will put food for them to eat.
Oh wow, you were really stupid, I have to say.
Ha!
PhD stupidity. No, sincerely, PhD stupidity. There's a classic story of stupidity.
The worst one is that the house.
Hello, Julian. Hello, Ololade. Hello, Sharon.
The worst one is that the house he was staying, I was the one that went to look for the house for him. I was the one that went to the agent, set up the whole house. I supported.
Did you pay the rent?
Support. It's support. True love. Pastor B, do you know that there was a day I went to that house and that is ex, after he lied to me that he was that in his working place, they said they should stay at the guest house for 1 week. Meanwhile, he was in the house with his ex.
And they were doing kerewa.
I don't know, Pastor B. When I went there to fight.
Oh my God.
When I went there, they used love to blind my eyes. Pastor B,
they explained it away.
That I'm the one that said.
Let me ask you a question. Maybe this question will help. Why, Vicky, what was your state that made you do all of that? Why did you do it? Why were you looking away? I don't think it's love. There's something that made you, because you were literally abused and you stayed there. Why did you stay there? And the reason I'm saying so is that there's some people that are going through abuse right now and they're struggling to come out of it. And if we can tap into your story, maybe we can help some guys or some ladies that are going through abuse.
Maybe I felt like he was the best person I could find.
Why did you feel that way?
Well, how can I explain? I don't know. But
because was it that you were afraid you'll not find someone else?
Of course, I knew I would find someone else, but
were you afraid of being alone? Were you afraid that you not find someone that would love you the way he would love you, or he loved you?
I think so.
What do you think?
Because Pastor B, before him, I used to be the kind of person that loved to go out with older people. And I tried to go out with. I tried to, and he was the first younger person out of every other person I had dated. He was the first younger person I went out with. So I guess I felt like this was it. Because, I mean, the older people, I thought that, older people are more mature, older people are better than younger people, but then it was not the case. And Pastor B, do you know the funny thing? The funny thing that when I met this guy, how I met him was that I was a born-again Christian. In fact, I broke up with the older guy I was dating because I said I wanted a relationship where we practice premarital sex, where we don't practice premarital sex. And because of that, the older guy was now misbehaving. I broke up with him because of that, so I could face my relationship with God. How I started dating this boy was me that carried my hand to go and win a soul for Christ. And I was now won into the world. I went to win a soul for Christ, though. That was how I started. He played along for the first 3 to 4 months. He agreed to no premarital sex. He was the best. He was following me to church every Sunday, every Wednesday. His friends told me, Vicky, you think you can change him? I said I will change him. And it was like that for 3. In my mind, I was like, I have found the man of my dreams. The one that wants the one that wants to serve God with me. That's how small from babe is just hug, babe is just romance, babe is just this. Before I knew it, I started going to the club. Before I knew it, I stopped going to church. Before I knew it, Pastor B, it was the worst stage of my life. It was the worst. And at the end of the day, his friends told me, I told you so. He is not the kind of person that it's not like it's not possible for one to, pull someone to Christ, but I guess I was not very mature yet.
Let me help you by saying this. You don't take someone to the altar, ALTAR, to alter them, ALTER. You don't take someone to the altar to alter them. Nobody can change another person. That is the work of one of the trap that a lot of ladies fall into is the trap that I can change him. One of the trap a lot of men fall into is a trap that I can change that. That is a big lie. If you can change, nobody can change another person. That is the work of the Holy Spirit. But let's go back to the issue of the emotion. So the reason why you stayed in this abusive relationship was because of fear that you will not find someone else that will love you the same way. You will not find someone else. And someone said, what's wrong with dating an older man? Vicky did not say she broke up with the older man because he was older. She broke up because it was not just older, but it was also a sinful relationship. It was not a godly relationship. That's why she broke up from that relationship. So, but the reason, and the reason I'm saying so to you is that a lot of you are held bound in the wrong relationship. And the reason why you are held bound is this, because you're afraid. You're afraid that if I break up, will I find someone else? If I break up, can someone else love me? Where will I start from? Who will take care of me? But what you do is that, you will put yourself in a state where you will be eventually abused, where you will be, and you want to say something?
Another reason why it was so hard for me to pull out of that relationship was because I was thinking about what people would say. Because a lot of people knew about our relationship. A lot of people warned me against going into a relationship with him. But because I was already deep-rooted in the relationship, I was bothered that, when we break up, people will laugh at me.
So you are afraid of people's opinions, right? Oh, wow. And that always happens to people that are leadership material. Because leadership materials are here to think about what people think. And so, therefore, they have the tendency to stay in a relationship for a long time. So the question is, how did you eventually deal with it? How did you come out of this? Yeah.
Okay, so possibly I think I got to a place where I think everyone has a limit of what they can take in life.
What changed? This I want to ask you. So you were in the place of fear. How did you move from a place of fear? What changed? This has changed. What changed? You were in a place of fear that if I leave this guy, this will never happen. And you went to a place that I don't care. This is too much. I'm leaving right now. What changed? What changed? Was it one thing? Was it a series of things? Most of the time, it's one thing that's going to trigger it. It's going to be other things that build up. But it's one thing that triggers it.
What triggered it was the day that he actually hit me. Because that was the end. I knew that was.
And the thing is, let me tell you something. If you're in the wrong relationship and you want to go out, I want to leave the place, I'll tell you how to live today. If you're going to break through, there must be a change in your belief. But a change in your belief is always triggered by pain. A change, most of the time, people need to change, but they need a trigger. So most of the time, what you're waiting for, you will eventually change, but it's a trigger you're waiting for. For Vicky here, she got to a point where the abuse was not verbal, was not emotional. Yeah. It jumped from emotional to verbal, then turned to physical abuse. And as soon as she got to physical abuse, she said, that's it. I'm not doing this again. That's it. I'm not doing it. So I'm saying this to you because some people are like, I can't just help myself. I'm just here. I don't know what to do. I don't know. You know, this is what the Bible says. I don't know if you read this in the Bible. I said this in church recently. You know, I'm going to talk about femininity and masculinity. We're just going to talk about this. That beautiful video you shared that went viral. You know, one of the powerful things, which is very powerful, one of the powerful things is this. If change is going to happen, you're going to get to the point in your life where pain will trigger change. Pain will trigger change. And this is what the Bible said about Esau. It said your brother Jacob would always be your Lord. It said, but the moment you get sick and tired of it, you will break it. So the reason why you cannot make that emotional switch is that your pain is not enough. Let me quickly address something very powerful here. There are many people that are hurting, that are not forgiveness, that are going through a pouch, or going through a very dark season. And let me tell you, you're saying that I don't know what to do to get out of this place of depression. I don't know what to do to get out of frustration. You know why you're in that state? You don't have a bigger pain than what you're experiencing. Once you have a bigger pain than what you're experiencing, you will jump out of it. There's a story of a lady that the husband died. She was young, had 2 children, and every day the woman will cry and cry and cry, and the kids were 5 and 7 will cry and cry and cry and cry and say she wants to die, she wants to die, she wants to die. Guess what happened? The one day the woman saw the 7-year-old child write a suicide note to the mom and said, one day I'm going to kill myself because my father died and my mother can't take it. She wants to kill herself. I'm going to kill myself. The day the mother saw that note, everything changed about how she felt. Someone says, what changed? When she saw a bigger pain than the current pain she was experiencing, her state changed. Everything about her changed. And that's what I'm saying to you right now. A lot of you want to change. Look for that thing that will trigger you to the next level. So Vicky, we had this story, you were sharing this story with us in church, and listen to me. Firstly, 2 things. You need to, if you connected to this, we're having a crusade in Ibadan. Here, NLP prayer conference in Ibadan. You need to attend. It's going to be a powerful night of miracles. Good Friday. You're going to have to attend. The second thing is that if you're struggling with your relationships, I want you to go ahead and watch my series on YouTube dealing with relationship frustration and exhaustion. How has the series been for you, Vicky?
Powerful, life-changing, and I mean,
did you cry? Did you find yourself crying or move to tears in the end of the services, or almost move to tears in the end of the services?
I think the day I actually cried was the day, the last 2 Sundays, the lady that spoke about her being married for 8 years, being in a relationship for 8 years, married the man, and then she left the marriage, or the marriage broke up because of the family of the man. That she has a child. Yeah. Yes, lady really encouraged, and she wore black and white to church on Sunday.
No, it was. In fact, the truth is that if I have time, I want to bring her on. If I don't bring her on today, maybe Tuesday or Thursday, I'm going to do another live and bring her on. She's radically changed. The counselor that is helping her out says, I cannot believe the depth of pain she went through and where she has been. But you can watch the messages for free. Go and watch them before they're taken out of YouTube. Go and watch them on YouTube, dealing with relationship exhaustion and frustration. But in the service, you were sharing with us how you find it hard to receive. You want to run us through that area again? Because some people just don't know what's going on. Yes.
Yes, I said that growing up, I have, or in fact, right now, I think I still have that mindset that, well, anymore, up until the Sunday where you advised on how women should be more feminine and should be, humble enough to ask and be ready to receive, open to receive. Yes. So I've had the mindset that I was made or created to only be a giver and not a receiver. And it has been like that for me for
and when you're dating people, you never date people that give to you. You always date people like this guy we spoke about. You're always the one giving to them. Oh, wow. And one of the things we began to examine is that, you want to say something?
Even when you were speaking about how your pain would trigger your change, I remember that the last person I dated before my business started growing until like it grew to the level where it is today was triggered by that relationship. because I felt so many type of way about myself in that relationship, because it was the time I just moved back to Lagos, and this person did not really, it was as if this person did not really have an idea of the kind of person that I am, because he couldn't see what I had inside of me. He couldn't see like the future ahead of me. So he felt like I was going to be a liability to him. And it was not as if, yes, he was not as if he was giving to me, because before you know it, nothing has happened. He will say he wants a break. You want a break for what? Nothing. Before you know it, he will complain. Before you know it, he will complain that, oh, you are eating too late in the night. Oh, it's not the one who will get married. You become fat. What is all these complaints? I will go and check your DM. You are talking to fat girls on Instagram, but you are complaining that me, that I'm size 8, that I should not eat at night, that I should not drink juice when I'm eating rice. Pastor B, we can literally have toxic fights just because I'm eating rice and drinking juice beside the rice. I think I'm not even kidding. It was very, and I had to start looking at what the problem was, and I realized that he felt like, because I just moved back to Lagos, I wasn't really doing anything. I was still figuring out my life. He felt like I was going to be a liability to him. He wanted a girl that was already independent and was already something. So I think when I came back, I spent some days in his house. Then when he said he wanted a break, I went back to my house. I remember that weekend when I went back home, for like three nights, I was always on the bed thinking and crying. My mom was on the bed too. I never told her anything happened. But the day I knew that for the 3 nights I did not sleep, my mother too did not sleep, because she knew I was in pain. She went to the parlor and she started praying and crying, and she was praying for me. That was when it dawned on me that my mom was actually awake 3 nights with me. And the next day she asked me, what's the problem? I told her everything. She even called him and asked him that, what is the problem? Why are you treating my daughter like this? If you don't want to be with that, this is that. It was that day, that prayer of my mom that night, that woke me up. And I was like, on top of which man? How? And it was just, I just went to God in prayer, and God just reminded me of what he has put inside of me. He says that the plan is that they are plans of good and not of evil. I just took it up upon myself. I told my mom, Mommy, I want to start fashion. I want to start using your parlor. That was what triggered me. And
hold on, Vicky, you're going too fast. They're saying too many powerful things here. The first thing you said is this, and that's what I said. If you are grieving or hurting and you find it, let me say that again. If you're grieving or hurting and you find it difficult to come out, it's because you have not found pain that is greater than your grief or hurt. When you find pain that is greater than your grief or hurt, you will jump out of it. The Bible speaks of the 4th leper. The Bible says when they became hungry, what did they do? They said that there's food here. They may kill us, but if we stay here, hunger will kill you. So when you find something that is greater than your grief or hurt, you will find yourself coming out of it. The second thing I want to say, which is very powerful, is that it was in your pain that your business started. Yes or no? You know why I'm saying that to you? Sometimes the gold is in the mess. Oh, wow. Sometimes someone needs to type that down. Sometimes the gold is in the mess. You know, sometimes the gold is in your pain. Sometimes the gold is in your hurt. That's why we don't run away from hurt. That's why we don't, because sometimes the message is in your mess.
Yes.
You see, let me tell you something. The gold is in the mess. The gold is in the hurt. The message is in the mess sometimes. And that's why sometimes what triggers you is the pain. And I'm saying so to someone here. There are people listening to me. You don't want to face your pain. You don't want to face your hurt. You don't want to discuss with anybody. You want to avoid it. You want to drink about it. You want to party. You want to get drunk. You want to get high. You want to use tramadol. You want to have 25 girlfriends and sleep around. The thing is that if you run away from your pain, you will never solve it. Your pain will be bad. You will never find the message, the gold in the message, which is what someone put in the comment section. How they put it there, that sometimes the gold is in the mess. Sometimes the gold is in the mess. Help me put it that the gold is in the mess. Sometimes the gold is in the mess. Sometimes the gold is in the mess, which is very powerful. which is very powerful. Let's begin to conclude this. Let's begin to conclude. If you need to share this with your friends or tag someone, please go ahead. Let's make this viral. Let's share it with all of our friends so it can go viral. You know, we're dropping so much powerful things here. It will be stored. You can go back and watch it. The gold is in the mess. So the question is this. So you found out, so you were describing how you're always in relationships before now when you do not receive. And one of the things I said to you is that I think that, you know, the challenge, because you gave a much bigger story, was because you've not grown in your femininity. You know, you've not been able to develop that. And what's your response to that? Have you been able to embrace your femininity before now? Have you been able to do that? Not really. And the reason why is that because as a young child, your dad died in an early age and your mom had to hustle, yes, and you also had to hustle. So because everybody may not know this, everybody has a masculinity and a femininity. And sometimes in life, sometimes you see some guys that develop their femininity over their masculinity. So you see some guys that always want people to lead them. They can't take direction. They want support and all of those kind of things. But also you see some girls that are too strong to be loved. Today, so much gems, so much gems, so much gems. Some ladies are too strong to be loved. And the reason why is that they've grown so much in their masculinity. You know, sometimes people that are very close to their father, they take it from their father. Sometimes people that don't have a father, they develop that as a defense mechanism to fight life. And they are too strong. They are too strong. I know guys and ladies that feel as if life is a battle, so they are always fighting. So tell me, you know, tell me some ways you noticed that you were not feminine. You didn't discover your femininity and you discovered your masculinity. Tell me some of the things maybe you were told, you noticed about yourself, your ex told you. Tell me some of the things.
Well, I always want to win an argument. I always want to win an argument, and when I want to do things, I always have to get what I want.
Okay, good. But that's not really wrong because that's being driven. But let me give you an example. You told me in the last meeting where you told me that you love to take care of yourself and you don't even think of anybody to take care of you. Everybody must take care of themselves. But when you grow your femininity, there's a part of your femininity that, you know, craves for someone to take care of you. So you were telling me about you and your boyfriend that sometimes, you know, you're hungry. And, you know, when you're hungry, your boyfriend even calls you and say, because you have this caring guy in your life right now, and say, you're hungry, I want to get you food. Don't worry, I've already ordered food for myself. And the reason why is that, you know, when you grow your femininity, you know what you want to do? You want someone to open the door for you. You want someone to ask you, how are you doing? You want someone to take you out. It's not as if you can do this for yourself. That would be another extreme. But just being feminine, because being feminine means that you kind of love someone, you love to be taken care of, which is beautiful. Which is beautiful. Now, if a guy is that way, sometimes that is awkward. If a guy wants, wants, that's actually awkward. You know, and the reason why people are masculine or feminine is the side of our life we choose to develop. That's the key thing. Is the side of our life we choose to develop. You know, and development depends on how we were brought up. For you now, you had to hustle. So what was needed when you were young was that masculine nature to be able to fight through life and be huge and this, and you became very aggressive. You became very aggressive, right? At some point, you might have reduced this, but at some point, when you are very aggressive.
Life is life is softer now, so no need.
Exactly. So this time you say life is softer is you working on your femininity, because you said I'm a lady, you know, just working on life is softer. You give me some examples of areas you have to make adjustments, or you are still struggling right now.
Areas I have to make adjustments. Okay, so I know that as a woman, when if you are feminine, you would always want to listen to or hear from a man. And there are times where if I want to make decisions, I make my decisions after I finish making decisions before I will even share it with my partner. Because got it covered. So why do I have to tell you first? Because in the area of finance, if it's financially, I would handle it. So I would finish making decisions
Can I ask you a personal question? You know that ladies that are masculine in nature, they love to wear more trousers than dress. Was that you at some point in your life?
In the area of dressing, I'm very feminine. Yeah.
Yeah, very feminine. But do you have friends that you noticed that they were masculine and they love to wear more trousers than
absolutely.
Oh wow. Wow. This is like actually very enriching for everyone. So the question is this, the question is if I even know a lady that would not wear earrings, would not wear makeup, and all those kind of things. And as she began to embrace her femininity, nobody told her to do those things, and she just began to do those things. What is the challenge of not embracing your femininity as a lady? One of the challenges you have is this: the vibe you will give out will be very masculine. So you become, let me tell you what you look like. You become a guy's guy. I don't know what that means. So you become that girl that is like the guy's guy. So they can, because the way you behave,
that's
like a guy. So they
I
feel
was
like a guy.
Secondary school. So all my classmates had boyfriends. All my classmates had boyfriends. Till I finished secondary school, nobody toasted me. Not one person. I was the one helping them toast people because I was their guy.
You were their guy. And if you want to date or be married, you can't be that person. If you want to date or be married, you can't be the guy's guy. You have to be the girl that the guys are chasing after. The guy's guy, the guy's G, the girls that are chasing after. This has been very great for all of us. So how do you change? It's a decision to say that, okay, I'm very masculine. And let me say something to you. Ask yourself this: if I don't change, what pain will I experience? Yeah, what pain will I experience if I don't change? And use that pain to motivate yourself to change. Okay, there's some questions that people are asking. I'm going to just take one or two questions. If you want to go live, let me know. Someone says, how can I move on? Someone says, how? Vicky, someone type in the comment section. Vicky, who is your guy? I'm your guy. Okay. Someone says, how do I move on? So the first thing is that be clear on what you want. What do you want to move on from? What do you want to move on to? So one of the reasons why Vicky stayed in that last relationship was that she could see her present, but she couldn't see her future. Is that not true, Vicky? She couldn't see it. I mean, when I say future in terms of relationship, so you could see the future you saw was with this guy. That's why you could not move on from it. So if you want to move on, one of the things you have to ask you, what am I moving on from? Someone is asking me this. This is a very funny question. I'm trying to scroll down. Someone said, how do I stop attracting feminine men? Nancy, if you want to come up on some of you need to come up on the video, because I want to ask you the right questions to help you. So, so if you can come up with the video, just say, I have a question and I'm ready to go live with you. I will add you, So the first thing is to know what you want to move on from. The second thing is to know what you want to move on to. Then the third reason is to know why you want to do that. If you don't have a big enough reason that can cause you pain, you will not do that. If you don't have a big enough reason that can cause you pain, you will not do that. So the reason why people, the reason why people know what to do and never do it is because there's not enough reason to cause them pain. Spyro has joined the conversation, so when he hears who will be your guy, all of a sudden Spyro is laughing and smiling. He didn't say anything all along, All right. So someone says feminine. Spyro says feminine men. Bawo. I don't know what's going on there. Okay, good. So if you want to ask a question, just let me know in the comment section. I will add you. Just say I want to go live with you. Please make sure that where you are, there's internet and you have your video on, and I will just add you. We're about to round up right now. Which is very good. We're about to round up right now.
So much for what you're doing. Okay. You're really changing lives. You're really touching lives, because I mean, in this generation of art, so many young people are going through so much in different areas of their lives, and the teachings, these sections, they've been really, really helpful. I get a lot of DMs of people sending like testimonies, and it's really helpful. Thank you so much for being a blessing to our children. We love you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. You know, like I always say, you know, the church should be a safe place to help people. And I'm saying it here. I know a lot of you will message me and DM me, but because of it's just me, if I get like 1,000 messages, it's a lot for me to handle. What I try to do is to create the forum in our fourth services where you can speak into it, and this kind of forum where you can come live and share. And I'm just trying to create more time. You know, I'm just trying to create more time.
Sir, we need
you know, I'm
to
just
tell them
trying to create
about
more time.
you know, the registration of the project you want us to work on, the one where you register.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, which of them now? Is it for the below 35 or the business of discipleship?
Business is also business. Below.
Okay. Okay. So first of all, if you're interested in mentoring and you are below the age of 35, you need to link up with Vicky. I'm creating a forum and Vicky is one of the leaders and manning that for me. So you need to link up with Vicky. Okay. Nobody's willing to go with me live. You know, I'm just going to take some questions from here. I'm going to see some questions from here. Someone says, how do I move on from a feminine man that is toxic and very abusive? Peculiar Tony asks that question. How do I move on from a feminine man that is very toxic? The question is that why are you staying there? The reason why is that people stay in abusive relationship for a good reason. To people outside, it sounds crazy, it sounds stupid, it sounds foolish, but people stay in abusive relationship because to them, there's beauty they experience there. The pain is there, but the beauty they experience supersedes the pain. And that's why they will stay there and it will be just beautiful. It will just be beautiful. So what you have to do is this. If you know that the relationship is toxic, you need to focus on the pain and let the pain get to a very high point where it can actually push you away, where it can actually push you away. That's what I'm talking about. Does anybody have a life question? If you want to ask a life question, just say that. Just says, I want to go live with you, and I would challenge you. You know, yeah, I would challenge you to go live with me. You know,
how do I stop attracting?
Have you found someone
on serious men?
Someone says, how do you stop attracting on serious men? I guess the reason why you attract on serious men would be this person wants to go live. I'm going to add. Yeah. Just 1 minute. I'm adding the wrong person. I want to go. Oh, no. Okay. Okay, I think. Oh, wow. I'm trying to find the person that says I want to go live, you know. Yeah, I'm trying to find the person that says I want to go live. Just a minute. Yeah, I'm going to do this right now. Yeah. Yeah, we're just almost there. Okay. Okay, I can't find the person that wants to go live. Send me a request if you want to go live. Just send me a request. That would be a better way. I can add you. So also, how do I stop attracting on serious men? So let me tell you the reason why it's difficult to answer these kind of questions. The reason why is that I need to ask you more questions because I'm just going to give you a blanket answer. That's why I don't like to answer questions that people type. I want to also be in a conversation so that I can really help you. You know, I can really help you. Okay, Bill T says I want to go live with you. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to. Yeah, Pastor Nikki, you want to go live? I would love to hear your story also. Yeah, I want to go live with you. I don't know if I'm the one that is doing it the wrong way. Maybe I'm the one that is not savvy. You know. Yeah. So maybe we should just add to the Just 1 minute. I will soon get it out now. Sorry about all of you going live. For me, all of you send me. There's a camera button. You can just send a request. Ewa told me I've seen yours. I'll look for you right now. Ewa told me I can't see your request. I can't see your request.
How are you checking?
Oh, I'm checking the camera.
I think it's
the camera. Yeah.
Up on
Is
your
there any session?
right?
Yeah.
It should be
On my right. Yes. Yes, yes. I'm trying to.
I think so.
Okay, I'm going to see. Maybe there's someone called Biggie. Let's see if it will work. Let's see if it will work. Yeah, let's see if it will work. Okay.
Hi, good evening, Pastor
Hello.
B. Hi, Vicky.
Good evening. What is your name and where are you joining from?
From Ikeja.
Okay. What is your question? What is your comment?
My question is this: you're with a guy. He treats you well. He loves God. I mean, everything you would practically want from a guy, but he has one issue, and the issue is that he has tendencies of cheating. And each time, you know, you confront him, he begs you and he tells you that you should help him solve this problem, that it stems from something that happened in his past, you know. But you're scared that would you have to deal with this for the rest of your life? So I really need you to trash this out. Do you walk away from the guy, or do you stay to actually help him, you know, trash this issue out?
Okay. I mean, your case is very different because the guy said he's come clean that he has an issue and he has a problem. The question is this. So what I would say to you is that you need to make sure the issue is solved before you guys make further commitments. That's what I would say to you. You need to make sure the issue is solved before you make a further commitment. So the question that, how are you going to help him? You're going to help him. He's going to need some, you know, some maybe counseling or therapy that's going to help him fix it. But you should not go further until that is solved. You should not go further until that is solved. Remember that you're not, you know, the only reason why, if it's cheating and hiding, then it's lying, then why are you going to be there? But if he says he wants help, maybe he's really being honest. It might not be honest because some people say this and they're not honest, but it may just, but it may be honest. But that's why I say that what you see is enough for you to break up. That's what I'm saying. But what you need to do is now to slow down and be like, okay, in case he's honest, let's give him a chance to fix it. But without, so you, what you can do is to take a break and say, we can take a break and let's sort this out first before we go further. You know, because you don't want someone just abusing and messing you up in the whole process of doing that. You know.
All right, that's fine. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
Pastor B, thank you for sharing that, because so many of these men, that's the excuse they always give for cheating. They will now give us work that we'll be doing. They'll be working on them. I feel like if they are in a relationship, they should actually wait and work on themselves first, though. It's really not easy.
Good evening, Pastor B.
Good evening. What am I saying what I'm saying? Please, what's your name and where are you joining from?
I'm joining you guys from Canada. Hi, Vicky, and thank you for sharing your story. Honestly, it's very relatable. And my question was to you: how have you been able?
So, are you a masculine lady?
More like boss lady. I feel like a lot of people say that about me, and that's because.
Are you a masculine lady? You just admit I'm a masculine lady. That's like the reason why I'm saying so is that when I say masculine lady, it's not safe. It's not about boss. All those kind of jobs. It's the fact that as a lady, you've developed more of your masculine side because of where you're coming from or what you're used to than your feminine side. So the reason I keep saying that is that you cannot change what you don't accept. So if you want to sugarcoat it and be like, you know, like I am this and that, you will never fix it. You know, so if you're a masculine lady, okay, and there's nothing wrong with it. You must remember there's nothing wrong with it because the truth is that some ladies to call their masculine side, because as a lady, if you don't call your masculine side, you may not be very aggressive in business, and that can have its own downtime. So there's nothing wrong. Only that you must know your masculine and feminine side and know what part of you to use per time. Okay.
Yes, I was going to ask. Question. I mean, identifying the problem is a thing, but I was going to ask how Vicky has been able to successfully tap into our feminine side, because I know that is something that I still struggle with on a daily basis. You know, sometimes you want to be feminine, you want to be like, oh yeah, do it for me. But the thing is, by default, my mind is like, I have it sorted, right? So that was my question.
Okay, good.
Okay, so
good. So
the
Vicky,
truth
let's
is
go.
I haven't been able to completely tap into my feminine side. As a matter of fact, Pastor B is actually helping me through the process. So yeah, I guess I'm still a work in progress. But Pastor B has really a
But the progress you've made, how have you made any progress? So the first thing is that let me help out. The first thing is to identify those areas where you're masculine.
Yeah.
And you need to be feminine. So you're from Canada. What area do you need to be feminine?
Well, I think the system does not even particularly help women being feminine because they say everything is 50-50, for example.
No. So remember, I know that happens in Canada, but you need to tell me where you want to be more
one
feminine.
of it, the major thing would be probably asking for and receiving help.
Oh, fantastic. So it's good. That's how you know. Now you know the area. I want to be more vulnerable. Maybe that's what it looks like. I want to be more vulnerable as a lady. Okay. So question is that when you don't ask for help, how do you feel?
Well, I think it's because I already have a block in my mind. Like I don't want to be disappointed, so I would not ask for help.
Okay. Good. So listen to yourself. So what you are really afraid of is the fear of rejection. Yes or no? Exactly. Why are you afraid of rejection?
I don't know. I think it just makes me feel bad when people say no to me.
Okay. The reason why you're afraid of rejection is because I was going to say something mean.
You know me now. You have to roast me on this Instagram.
No, I'm not roasting you. I'm not roasting you. But I want to say this to you. The reason why anybody, not you now, anybody that's afraid of rejection is because the people that are afraid of rejection like control. How do they like control? They want to control the outcome of other people towards them.
Yes, sir.
Vicky, do you agree with that? Exactly. So it's not the fear of it, it's the fact that you like control. So you want to control. So the question is that I want to ask you, Bimbo, have there been some guys that liked you, I wanted to date you, and said no?
Yes.
You rejected them? Oh my God. You rejected them? How do you think they feel right now?
Bad, and I hope they've moved on.
So people, can you see what I'm saying? I'm only saying that what I said that to let you know that rejection is a part of life, that people will not respond to me the way I want. So you know the thing, if I don't want to have the fear of rejection, I must know what my power is. My power is in asking and asking rightly, but I must remember that their response is not my fault, because they can respond rightly or wrongly, and I'm not going to let that determine who I am. Yeah, for example, if I didn't pick your video today,
no, I know there are like 101 million people trying to be on this live.
So you know why you didn't feel rejected? Because you gave yourself a story in your mind that no, I'm not rejected. It's just that there's a lot of people. So when you experience rejection, why not tell yourself the same thing? And like, oh, no. You know, he's really willing to help me, just don't have the names, and he cannot say it, so he's dodging my calls. Don't tell yourself something that makes you feel pain. This is why people feel painful rejection. They tell themselves things that makes themselves feel pain. He has the money, but it doesn't want to give you because he doesn't like me. Why do you want to tell yourself something that makes you feel pain? Why not say something like, he's broke, he doesn't want to admit it, and that's why he's not able to help right now. What I'll do is to pray for him that God will bless him so that he can help next time. That story makes you feel better. Every time you are disappointed or rejected, you tell yourself a story that makes you feel terrible. So a guy walks away from your life, you'll be like, oh yeah, when I shared my dreams with him, he discovered that it was too small to be in the dream and in the picture. He discovered he had the capacity to nurture a woman like this. So he thought the best thing was to excuse himself so that the right person can come and doesn't block the entrance. That's a powerful story. Another story can be like, he abandoned and dumped me. But when you say he abandoned and dumped me, how do you feel? So you need to keep telling yourself stories, you know, and you must know something. The difference between David and his brothers was this: when they saw Goliath, David gave himself a story of faith and victory. His brothers gave himself a story of defeat and shame and fear. The question is that, what story are you going to tell yourself? So how do you do your femininity? We're going to talk about how to do your femininity. So how to do your femininity is very simple. You begin to identify the areas, then identify the belief. The belief is very important. What belief? Then so you've told me the belief is you're controlling. I don't want to feel disappointed. Now you begin to change. So you know what I'm doing? You begin to change what you associate with disappointment. So when you ask someone for help and they can't do it, I don't associate disappointment. I associate mercy. I'm like, oh wow, and
even
grace. That's what I associate. Basically. Exactly. So that's why I don't feel disappointed. Then another thing is that you begin to determine. So what that would do is to change your perception. Once your perception changes, your emotions will change, and everything will change.
Yes.
Is that helpful at all? Is it helpful at all?
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for your time. Can we take the last one before we go today?
I'm not sure how to. Maybe if you take somebody else.
I'm trying to take you out. Okay, I think I know how to take you out from here.
Good evening, Pastor B. Sorry for the lighting.
Good evening.
Yes.
Okay, what is your question?
I don't really have a question. I wanted to say that you were talking about masculinity and femininity. When I was growing up, right, I saw the things my dad did. I saw how he related with my mom. You know, I saw how he took charge of the house. And he still let us be. We are all girls. So my father is the only man in the house. But he was still able to be in control and still be a nice dad. So he was a fully masculine man, but he was a human being as well. You know, he was soft. He was able to merge all that. In my years of living, I've only come across very few men like that, especially the modern day man. You hardly see a man like that these days.
What's your question? So what is your question?
I don't have a question. You were talking about women being masculine, and I've come to realize that it's kind of the reality of what we face today, right? We don't have a choice, so to speak. Like, we want to be feminine, we want to rest in our femininity, we want to embrace our femininity, but the reality of things is that we just have to, you know, do these things. We want to be soft women. We want to be like the women of the 80s that just stayed at home, you know, took care of the children. But the way it is now, it doesn't really work that way. And also, men are not really trained to show love.
Okay. I'm taking your comment and feedback. So I can let someone else speak. Thank you so much. So I can get someone to ask a question.
Bye, sir.
Thank you. I'm just trying to add one more person that has a question. Yeah. Okay. Hello. I can't see your video. I don't know where you are. Should I take you out?
Hello.
Okay. Yes. Hello. Well, we can't see your video.
Do I have to show my face?
Miss. By the grace of God, I would love to talk to someone I know. I can see.
Okay. Do you have to see my face?
Oh, I need to see your face. It helps my question and answer. You can see my face, so you can see my face. So
okay, my question to you is: hi, my name is Funso. I'm calling from the United States.
Hi.
My question. Hi.
Okay. Hi, Funso.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry right now. I'm journaling. I'm journaling right now, so I look very untidy. But anyway, my question to you, sir, Pastor B. By the way, I love you so much. I'm a business.
I love you.
Thank you.
I love you. Thank you for being part of the ministry.
I'm in North Carolina.
Where in the United States are you?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I've been to North Carolina once.
Are you coming back to the U.S. anytime soon?
Yes, we're coming for NLP conference late. I think it's around October.
Perfect. Okay, so my question to you is, I do have a business. I'm a business owner, and I would like to say I'm a feminine person, but I feel like sometimes when I'm handling my business, like a masculine part of me comes out. Like I just feel like right now my business is kind of the center of my life. So if I'm focused on my business every day and it's something that I do habitually, that masculine part of me over time starts to stick with me because I don't even know where I'm going with this. But okay, my question to you. Okay.
Yeah, so what's your question?
So my question to you is, how can we be feminine if the surroundings around us require us to be strong and require us to be masculine?
Okay, good. You're asking a very brilliant question, and this question will help me balance what I'm teaching. You know, I balanced it, but help me more balance it. If there's a fire in your house and you have 2 kids, at that moment when there's a fire, will you be masculine or feminine?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. What I'm saying about, there's nothing wrong with being feminine, but you need to know when your femininity serves you and when your masculinity serves you. So when you go to the business place, the business is looking for your masculinity, bring it out. But when you come home, they're not looking for masculinity, they're looking for bring it out. And the reason, even men needs to be feminine. Even men, the men need the feminine side of us that is caring and is loving and is serving and is wonderful and all of those kind of things. We can come home and be macho and be like, hey. No. I'm only saying that every man has a masculine and feminine side. Every man has a masculine and feminine side. What I'm saying is that you need to know when it serves you and bring it out that way. So, Funto, you are doing amazing. It's wonderful what you're doing. So you're bringing out your masculinity to work, and that is beautiful because people are not going to pay you more because you're a lady. They're going to pay you more because you can deliver. But when you now step into relationship, I don't know if are you married or you're single? Okay, so let's assume that you're dating James. You're dating James. When you come to James, you don't want to address James like a project. You don't want to address James like a colleague. You don't want to address James like this. You need to let James, normally when you get to the office, you're like, I'm here to present. Oh, well, I can take that question later. That's for later. Now. But when you're with James, no, I can't. Please, James, don't even talk to me. I'm so tired. Can you just help me warm my feet? James, can you just carry me up? You can do that in the business place. That's your family coming out where you're just vulnerable. So it's a balance. It's a balance. It's a balance. I don't know if that helps you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. You should link up with Vicky. Vicky run the multi-million dollar business in Nigeria. And she should link up with her, and she can. We're having something for business people. You can join online. It's a 2 days intensive, so you can join online, and it will be really good. It's a lot of training for the business space. Funto, thank you.
Vicky,
God bless you.
What's your Instagram name?
It was really nice. And
Vicky James.
Okay. How do I spell it?
It's
Vicky James. Okay. It's right there. It's right there on my stuff.
Thank you so much, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Right. All right.
Thank you.
I hope you
Bye.
do too. Bye.
Very,
Vicky, I think this has been so helpful today. What do you think?
Helpful. Yeah, super.
Oh, someone said Funto call me. I don't know who's saying Funto call me.
Oh my God.
Someone said Funto call me. Anyway, we're going to begin to close this now. Remember that all of you in Ibadan, having it in Ibadan, NLP conference comes up in Ibadan. NLP conference comes up in Ibadan. We're coming to Wembley. We're coming to London, Wembley Arena for NLP conference in London. And we're coming to Canada and the US this year. NLP conference in Canada and the US this year. Hallelujah. Okay. Hello. How are you? What is your name?
Pastor. Good evening, Vicky. My name is Oyin, and I'm calling in from London. Okay, so I wanted to I think my question has actually been addressed. It was more like a balance in the masculine and feminine side. Like, how would you be able to balance it? Because sometimes I feel when I'm actually drifting into my feminine side, the guy probably does something, and I'm like, I was trying to be vulnerable, and now he has done it. Well, let me just pick up my I don't care attitude. I can fix things myself because he's probably.
Can I ask you a question? Do you do things for yourself or you do things for people?
I think it's both. Okay. I think I do things for myself and I also do for people.
Okay. So basically, if you're kind, is it for yourself first or is it for people? You should be kind.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's who you are. Exactly. So when people don't accept your kindness, what do? You change and become rude.
No.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You know, there'll be someone on the road that has his own issues. You know, let me tell you something. When people don't respond to me the way I want, I'm like, oh wow, it's only God that knows what he's going through that makes him not be able to accept love. I give myself a good story that it's only God that knows what he's going through that makes it so difficult for him to accept love.
Wow.
Okay, continue. Yeah, the last question. So
because,
let's finish this.
Yeah, emotionally, I would say I've been through a lot. Well,
so tell me exactly how I can help you. What emotion are you struggling with right now? How can I help you?
Trusting people, trusting what they actually say to me. Like, for example, if you tell me,
okay,
oh, if a guy even tells me he loves me, in my mind, why does he love me? Like,
okay, but I understand that. So why do you struggle with trusting people?
With previous relationships, it's been them saying, oh, they probably love me, they'll do all this, and at the end of the day, it fails.
Okay. So why do you think it fails? Because they were lying? You think they were lying? Did you ask them, you thought they were lying, or there was a change?
They were lying, yeah.
They were lying. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been with someone before and you said I will love you forever and you walked away? I just want to ask you, maybe you have been in that situation where you just want to love you forever and you walked away. Or were you lying?
At that point, no. It was actually the feeling at that point.
Exactly. So why do you think they were lying? So listen, you can explain how you can walk away. But when someone walks away, you say, oh, they were lying. You're such a great judge. Aren't you a great judge?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Let me tell you why you say they were lying. You don't want to believe that. This is the reason why. You want to deny that something legitimately went wrong in the way they felt about you. And the only thing you had to say was that they just lied. And the truth is that something legitimately went wrong. It might not be your fault. It might not be their fault, because things can happen. It might be something outside them. It can be their fault. It can be your fault. But things really, really happened. And that was it. But you don't want to live to that, because that will break your heart to know that maybe they did something. So you don't want to even look at the possibility that something went wrong. So the way you make yourself feel safe, like it's not my problem, it's not me, it's not my story, it's not about me, it's about them, is to say they were lying.
Okay, Pastor, thank you. Yes, it did.
Did this help?
I mean, being accountable, it did help.
But more than that, your tone tells me that you're in a very sad place, actually. Why? What's going on?
With emotions, I mean, it's more like, other things in my life are actually going on well. I'm really not there, but like I can see a progress. But with emotions, no. I can't.
So what's going on exactly? You've told me what is not going on.
Okay,
what is going on?
Actually, in school, I'm working. School is going fine. Work is going fine.
What is not going well? What is not going well?
Like,
I did say yes. What is not going well with
emotions?
What is not going well with emotions? What is not going well?
Get into a relationship.
Why? Why can't you get yourself to get into a relationship?
Because I have fears in me.
What kind of fears?
I just said it, like, it's probably not going to work out. They're probably lying.
Watch last Sunday's sermon where you showed us that the clever lies of the devil corrupts our mindsets. So she already has that mindset that when people say that nobody can actually love her for real. So when people come to her and they tell her that they love her, she already has that mindset that no, you cannot love me. Why do you love me? So maybe if she can actually change that mindset, it would. I think everything you've taught us from like February up until now, if she actually goes through some of those things, she would.
Yeah. I want to ask, have you watched my teachings on dealing with relationship exhaustion and frustration?
Majority of the teachings, as long as there's this.
Okay. Let me give you a good example. Let me tell you how to watch the teaching. Don't watch it when you're at work. When you get home, take Bible and pen, sit down with a book, write it down. Do you do the assignments when you watch it? Do you do the assignment? You have been writing somewhere. If I ask you, can you submit it to me?
Yes, I do. Because I've not been in every of the fourth service. Just like
no. It's not really a cheap thing. I'm only telling you the way to get maximum value from something. You can watch a movie, then watch it again. You're like, I didn't see that. But the reason why is that the first time you watch it half-hearted. Then everything you watch, you will probably remember 20%. But if you write it down, you remember about 80%. But back to the conversation. So everyone online, go back to YouTube and Harvesters TV, subscribe and watch Dealing with Relationship Exhaustion and Frustration. You heard Vicky talking about how it has impacted our life, how she was moved. It was very emotional. Sometimes we're just all breaking down. We have crying moments in the service. We just allow people cry, that kind of thing. But this is what I'm saying. So you're emotionally down. So I want to listen to yourself. You're emotionally down because there's no relation. You don't trust and all of those things. So I want to ask you, why is your lack of relationship making you emotionally down?
Why is my lack of relationship making me emotionally down? Because I feel as human, you get to a point where you actually have to be emotionally accountable to somebody.
Must that emotional capability be a lover, partner?
Of course, it could be funny. Funny enough, I have great female friends, like great female friend, great relationship with my female
So if you
friend.
have great female friends, why do you still feel emotionally low? Because you are not in a relationship.
Pastor B. Okay, like I feel it gets to a point in your life you feel like, okay, this is probably the next step. If you're of the school of thought of getting married.
Okay, good. So if it's a next step for you, I agree with you, and it's not working out, then you feel frustrated. So if you feel frustrated, what does frustration tell you? Frustration tells you that the way you're doing it is not working well. It's not right. That whatever method you're doing is not working well. So when you're frustrated and you keep doing something, you say that method is not working well. Why not change the method?
Doing, or maybe saying I'm trying, pushing out. I'm really not pushing out or maybe taking extra effort, because I feel what is for me would, as long as I'm steadfast and all, what is for me will probably find its way around me. At times I blame myself, because when guys even approach me at times, I probably already have this prejudice in my head. I did think this one is probably coming to bring you more pains. Please go.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. What born are you in your family? Okay. So your dad and your mom, where did they stay?
My mom is my dad died when I was young. So my mom, though she's remarried now, but it was her for a long time.
Yeah. The reason why I asked is that I can tell that you didn't live with your dad because you're looking for love from a man.
Okay.
Tell me if it's true or not. I can tell. You're looking for it. So though you don't have it and you used to not having it, but you're also looking for. I can tell you grew up without that kind of love that way.
Yeah, my dad died when I was really young.
And you've always wanted to have that man in your life that will support your dreams. You've always wanted to have that man in your life that will always hold your hands.
Yeah.
That you can pour a lot into. And now you don't have it. You feel as if you are very alone.
I actually feel alone,
and you're doing life
and I actually feel like I'm doing life alone. Yeah.
Exactly. So I want to ask you, what do you need? Do you need a father or you need a husband?
I need both.
Okay, good. The reason why is that, so have you found yourself attracted to older men before?
Pastor B. Yes, I used to be very attracted to older men.
Should I tell you the reason why? Because you were looking for your father. That's all you were looking for.
Okay.
Until now, you're still, I'm just telling you, even till now, you're still looking for him. And that's why you're having the emotional breakdown. I know that you're conscious and you're on air, but you're having the emotional breakdown moment because as I'm talking to you, there are flashes of thought, memory, and history going through your mind. And you're trying to hold back the tears as I speak because, what?
Oh.
Let me tell you something. Tell me your name again. Oh, yeah, let me tell you something. And I hope that this will really change your life. I know that you grew up in a place where love was difficult for you and you didn't find love. But if you don't know what love is, you can never identify or receive it. If you don't know what love is, you can never identify or receive it. So I don't think what you need as a man right now, I think, is to get close to Vicky, get close to any of our pastors in the UK, get close to myself, and go through a process where you can know what love is. And once you know what love is on the inside, you can begin to identify it and give it to other people as a gift. I wanted to put your hands on your chest. I wanted to put your hands on your chest. Or you can tap your chest this way, tap it this way, tap your chest this way. Okay, take a moment, take a moment, take a moment. Take a moment.
Oh, you don't cry.
Let's spend a minute. I want to pray for Oye first of all. I want to pray for her. I want to pray for her. And Lord, thank you for my new friend, Oye. Thank you because the reason for this life, she's the last person, but we didn't know that all the things myself and Vicky were speaking about was just because of Oye. Oye's background looks like Vicky. Her father died early in her life. And thank you for, you're bringing them together because you want to heal her, because you want to minister to her. And I'm praying that not just for her, for everyone here, that the power of God will heal their emotions, heal their hearts, heal their pain. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, Lord, you know where everyone is. Let your power heal their hearts and heal their pain. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. Vicky, we're going to close. You speak into this. Your father died when you were what age, Vicky?
When you were 5. Yes, sir.
When you were 5. And you struggled all through with fatherly love, right?
100%.
You also wanted to date older men at most times in your life, yes or no? How did you? What can you tell Oye right now that can help her? What changed everything for you?
Well,
and Oye, I'm giving you a sister in Vicky. I'm giving you a mentor in Vicky. Vicky is going to hold your hands and pull you through.
How I pull through that is basically I believe that I've always believed in God's plans. I believe that everything that happens for a reason. I believe there's a reason why. I think it's like recently after God has actually brought me to at least just a bit close to where he's taking me, that I now realize that if my father was actually alive, I don't think I would have been who I am today. I'm not saying that I'm happy that I lost.
Vicky, can I pause you for a moment?
Yes,
Oye, the reason why you feel the pain of your dad's death, which you will always feel, which is very powerful, is that you're looking at the negative side. You need to look at the positive side. The truth is that you're a very strong lady. If your father was alive, maybe you'll not have this strength. Maybe by now you'll never be in London. Maybe by now you'll be back home. You will not be doing anything significant. So the reason why is that as there's also, look at Vicky. Vicky's running multi-million business right now. But if her father was alive, maybe she would just be in the house, become a daddy's girl. So what the devil meant for evil, remember that God has turned around for good. In the sense of this, the loss of your dad has produced strength in you. If you're going to cry that your father died early, but you must also cry that you are strong. You must also cry that you are successful. You must also cry because the same thing that led to the failures led to your strength. The same thing that led to your weakness also led to your strength.
Yeah.
So I wanted to focus on the good thing that this has brought to your life and not just the bad thing that's come to your life. And guess what? If you didn't have this story, I would never get to know you. If you didn't, look at the beauty. If you didn't have this story, there's nobody I've given Vicky to as a mentor today. If you have this story, you will never you will never meet Vicky. Just imagine how your story has connected me. And I'm coming to London soon, and I hope to meet you. I want to give you a big hug. I want to give you a big hug. I want to be able to invite you to lunch with me.
Pastor B, even me, I've not had lunch with you.
So just imagine how that gift has blessed all of us today. So this is what I want to tell you. I know it's tough, but always look at the beautiful side of an ugly thing. Always look at what? The beautiful side of an ugly thing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vicky.
God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
Yeah.
So link up with Vicky. Look on my page, you know, on the live. Her name is there. Exactly. Follow her, and she's going to support. Thank you, Oye.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see you in London. So make sure that you message our team and message me so that when you never come to London, you make sure that you're there to meet up with me.
So
I owe you a hug. Oh, fantastic. Awesome. Awesome. Great. Vicky, how was today?
Powerful, Pastor B. Powerful. I mean, we've been blessed. I'm sure everyone has been blessed. It was powerful.
It has been.
You should do this every evening. Most people were putting in the comment section, Pastor B, please do this every evening. I mean, we know that's not possible because you have a lot of things to do, and we.
There's a lot of things to do, but if this blessed you, please go ahead and post in the comment section. Let me know it blessed you. Tell me this blessed me. Tell me this blessed me. I want to share the link with your friends and get them to watch the video again. We have beautiful stories from Vicky and all of that. Thank you so much, Vicky. It was nice to do this with you. I'm hoping on Thursday we can have another session. Just keep, I will announce. I know it was even impromptu. It said as a joke from one of our staff. It was like a joke that Pastor B do something. And here it is, been a blessing to so many people. Thank you so much for joining today. Everybody have a good night and God bless you. Next level prayer tomorrow is powerful. Join with your prayer points, your goals, and pictures of what you desire. Thank you. You can watch this on my page after now and